be almost there to the start of the season?
Great. Basketball's interesting. You know, we start practicing in June. And so, golly, by the end of October, your players are so hungry to play against somebody else and stop having so many practices focused on them. So we're excited. I think for, you know, like the casual fan, they probably feel like, you know, once the leaves start falling and the weather starts getting a little bit cooler, you know, it's time to watch basketball. And I don't know if the weather's going to cool off or not, but it's almost time. Yeah.
Just talk about your team. Some big changes from just a year ago. While the starters from last year are all back, it seems like you have a completely new bench. Talk about the personalities that you got on your team that people might not be familiar.
Yeah, we have a lot of changes in personnel for our program. We've got 7 new players to join a really solid core group of returners. With a lot of new players come challenges, obviously, but really a lot of excitement too. I think the players that we have, we signed 2 really good freshmen, and they're doing a great job for us. And then we signed some transfers in the spring, got them out of the portal, and they're just super excited to have new opportunities to actually play and contribute. And this has been a really fun team to work with up to this point. And if it's not fun before you have games, like you're gonna be in trouble. But we had a great spring, great preseason. You know, I think our team chemistry is about as good as you can expect at this point. So we're excited about putting them out on the court. We had a meet and greet with our super fans last Tuesday, and I think that was a really big hit for our fans because we do have so many new players. They wanted to actually get to meet them, put numbers and faces together. So it's been a process getting everybody on the same page, but I think we're ready. We're ready to play against somebody else.
And while you have those new faces, you have a couple coming back that people should know, Bella Earl and Peyton Hall. Really big key players from just a year ago. Kind of talk about the leadership role they've taken over, especially Bella being a senior, Peyton going into her sophomore year after a sensational freshman year.
This is Bella Earl's 4th year in our program, and it's not lost on me that this might be rare moving forward. You know, with players being able to hop in the portal as many times as they want, you know, who knows if we'll have very many players, you know, moving forward that will stay with us for 4 years. And so I'm really grateful to get to coach Bella her final season. Bella led our team in rebounding and assists last year. She was 2nd team all conference. She's been looked on to be a leader the last couple of years, and this year especially, I think she's already shown a different level of urgency that the other players they can't even have. You know, they're not in her shoes. And so she's doing a really good job for us. We're expecting her to be, you know, an everyday double-digit scoring threat for us. Peyton Hull was the WAC Freshman of the Year last year. She is our first ever preseason WAC All-Conference selection, and we're excited about that. And I don't think that she can even understand that means all the head coaches in the league feel like she's one of the top 5 players in the conference. And that's a huge compliment for a sophomore, just going into her 2nd season, you know, playing at this level, playing for us. But Peyton and Bella, they are predominantly our main scoring threats. I do feel like we do have some good complementary players around them. The scheme for opponents that we're going to play, I'm sure it's like, how do we keep the ball out of Bella's hands? How do we get Peyton to you know, pass the ball? And so we want to put other scoring threats around them. And I feel like with Meredith Mays in our 5 position, Emma Troxel in a forward position, those two can score quick. And they're really good scorers. Mare can really score in the paint. Emma Troxel just came off our last scrimmage. She goes 4 for 8 from the 3-point line, really stretches the defense out. And so I think that group of returners are really good scorers, and they've done a really good job leading our program as well.
And your philosophy last year, and it seems every year you've been here, you like to shoot the 3 ball. Are we going to see more of that this year, or is it going to be different with the personnel you guys have?
Well, we've added some really good 3-point shooters with this new group that we have coming in. Natalia Chavez, who spent the last 2 years at the University of New Mexico, she hit 5 threes in our last scrimmage. So, you know, when she and Emma, they play the same position, they went off for 5 threes the other night. And it's just, you know, really stretches the floor out defensively, opens up the middle of the floor for our drivers and for our 5 player. But Tali is a good 3-point shooter. Aaron Woodson Dixon was on the Horizon All Freshman team last year at Purdue Fort Wayne, another really good spot shooter. One of our freshmen, Paula Piquet from Spain, really good three-point shooter. And so I think that we've got some more weapons out on the three-point line. And yes, you will see us shoot lots of threes. If you don't, you'll see me subbing a lot. And so, we really want to take about 35 three-pointers a night.
Let's talk about just a couple weeks away from game one. Just how exciting is that you're actually going to get to play meaningful basketball, not just a scrimmage, not inter-squad. You're going to play a team, and it's going to go on your record. Kind of talk about that.
We're excited about that. I mean, scrimmages are one thing, but in the back of everybody's minds, they know it doesn't really matter. So we're excited to play at home. Our very first game, it's a week from today. We're playing the University of the Southwest at 5:30. We went an entire season last year without a doubleheader with our men's team, and our very first game this year, we've got a doubleheader. So I'm excited about that, and we hope it's packed house coming out to watch our team, and then cheering for our men at 7:30 after that. And so it's time for basketball season to start. We think that the fans are excited to come watch both teams play, and looking forward to November 4th. It's going to be a good night for all the Wildcat fans.
So I'm new to town. I've only been here for
Welcome.
months. And, I've never seen. I've been in Moody, obviously.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen ACU play yet.
Yes.
I guess kind of describe to me West Texas basketball. Kind of describe to me like the culture. The kind of the style of the game.
Yeah, great question. We try to be really fundamentally sound with the basketball. We want to take, tons of three-point shots, but we work a lot on scoring in the paint. And we love the inside-out game where we get even more open three-point looks. But number one, offensively, we want to score in the first 7 seconds of the shot clock. We want to, get defensive stops. We want to push the ball down the floor, put people in opportunistic spots on the court where we can score quickly before the defense can pick us up. So we want to score a lot of points. We are trying to be a better defensive team. We kind of leave that up to our men to put on the defensive show. Coach Tanner is such a great defensive mind with that. We are working on our defense, I promise. Actually hired an assistant coach, Yannick Denson, who has been working for an incredible defensive program. And he's brought in a lot of good new ideas, new terminology for our team, and I think they're really starting to figure that out, buy into it. We want to put a lot more pressure on the ball, force some more turnovers, but we want to score quickly. We don't want to turn the ball over much. If we don't score in the first 7 seconds of the shot clock, we really want to work and share the basketball and get the highest percentage shot that we can. We also want to be a dominant offensive rebounding team. Y'all, if we're shooting 35 three-pointers a night, we're missing maybe 25 of those. And so we are not 20, well, maybe 25, 23. So we've got to be a good offensive rebounding team, be really aggressive, going after rebounds, getting those extra possessions. But we are a very offensive-driven team. It's no secret. Every team that plays us knows that we want to put a lot of points on the board.
And you look at this whole season coming up, I'm sure you have a checklist of goals that you want to accomplish. What exactly would those be, and how are you going to go about accomplishing those goals?
Yeah, very similar to Coach Patterson, the football program. We want to be undefeated at home. We want to win every single home game. It's where we practice pretty much every day. It's where our loyal fans are. We've created like a brand new student section feeling this year. We want to definitely have a home court advantage. We want to be undefeated at home. Big goal for us. Obviously, we want to play for a WAC championship. We want to put ourselves in a position to have a good seed going into the tournament, give ourselves a chance playing that championship game and win the first WAC championship for ACU women's basketball team.
You mentioned that brand new student section. What can you say about that?
I'm excited. We had practice when our facility folks were kind of building the new bleachers for the student section. I would just say it's got to be full every night. Number one, so our players don't run into the student section, don't run into the bleachers right on the baseline. We've got to have some students there to catch us. But I think it's just going to bring just a lot of energy down on the baseline. Obviously, we want those folks that are on the baseline to be cheering for our team, but they need to be giving the opponents a hard time. They're at the end of the opponent's bench. Like, they need to be giving them a hard time. I know, Brett would echo this as well. When we go on the road, like, we get terrorized sometimes by fans. Like, it's just constant harassment, and we haven't really been that good at harassing the opponents the last couple of years. So hopefully bringing our student section down the court, we hope to be a distract the opponents.
You've got Bella Earl and Zoe Jackson, your kind of anchors leadership-wise. What can you say about them?
I think, Bella, she understands our program. She understands me more than anybody else on the team. And so we are relying on her to be a vocal leader, not just out on the court, but like make sure that she is fostering and protecting the culture in the locker room as well. Zoe, this is her third year with our program. At the point guard position, obviously she's got to be a vocal leader out on the court. And she has a good understanding of her role and just our style of play as well.
You've got a really strong sophomore class with the returners.
Yeah.
Transfers. What can you say about them?
I think this is one of the most special classes we've had in a long time, with Meredith Mays protecting the paint, scoring in the paint. We've got Peyton Hull, who can score any way she chooses to. And then Emma Troxel, big presence in the paint, but also really good three-point shooter, really good defender. And then, who am I leaving out? Oh, Aaron Woodson. Aaron completes that sophomore class. Aaron is a great addition. Really good three-point shooter. Played on a great team last year that went several rounds in the WNIT. She knows how to win. She's a good defensive force as well. And so that group of four, it's a really special class. I think, you're going to see them contribute a lot this season.
I got one more. I saw on Twitter, row the boat, I believe is what it was. Can I talk about what that means and where that kind of came from?
Yeah, so, last school year, a movie came out that was called Boys in the Boat. And I had read that book several years before, really excited about watching the movie. Our team, we went to see it together as a team, something we talked about a lot last year. I'm also a huge PJ Fleck fan with Row the Boat. So we kind of took both concepts and blended it and sort of made it our own. But just... the folks in the boat, you choose to be in the boat, you're one of the rowers. And so we've got to have all the rowers on the same page, doing their job, elevating their play, striving for excellence every day. And so, we're talking about that on a daily basis, like, hey, you're in the boat, we're all in this together. If you watched any of the Olympics this summer with the rowing teams, I mean, they're so in sync. I don't know if there's another sport that has to be more in sync than the rowers do in a boat. And so that's really kind of the concept, just like a teamwork, a sisterhood. We're all in this together. Nobody's asked to do any more than anybody else. We're just asking you guys to be excellent and for us to be, in one accord.
Is it the same boat or you go every time?
It's the same boat and the same rowers, yes.
I'm at the little
Oh, that is the same boat. Yes.
share it. All right.
It is the same boat. We do share the oar, but we everybody gets their own boat.